Last episode, we finished off the 1904 draft, and let's take a look at our team. First, let's kind of look at the whole league and the prospects this year. Number 1, Michael Pineda, Felix Hernandez. Number 2, Al Helensworth, Mickey Hughes, Anthony Rizzo, and Noah Montreal Expos are in the top 10 of the report. Minor league systems, Montreal down at the bottom. Again, we started drafting the worst players possible and have only been at this a few years. So it's going to take a while to build up our system. Take a look at our starting rotation. Ted, the Senator Kennedy, Fritz Peterson, and then you see our bullpen. Again, in the serious drafts, you see we took Ked Penner, Danny Darwin, George Merritt, and Roy Halladay will make his major league debut with the Montreal Expos. Still a little progress to be done. He's going to be our middle relief setup guy, maybe get into the rotation, but right now our rotation is pretty strong with Ted Kennedy and probably Danny Darwin if he can improve on that stamina, because I believe he was a starter in his career, but probably not right out of the gate. So we'll see if that stamina increases to a starter stamina. So Roy, you might have a shot to replace Fritz Peterson down the line. Our hitters, again, we're playing with no DH. I want to get in our drafted players into the lineup as much as possible. We don't have a catcher ready yet that we drafted, so Mark Stewart will fill in the gap until we do get a true starting catcher. All right, let's go and, you know what? Let's play the first game of the season. Let's check out the Montreal Expos as we've drafted, see if they can take game 1. Of course, if you saw the last episode, no spoilers, but, you know, we did fairly well. You might want to check out the last episode there just to kind of see how this Expo team did. All right, Ted Kennedy leading things off as our starting pitcher. Look at those uniforms. Don't they remind you of the 1980s Expos? And, we gave up a hit right off the bat, but let's go to the bottom. 1-0, Pittsburgh does score. Okay, can the Expos get that back? No, they do get 2 hits, but no runs. Top of 2, Pittsburgh adds to their lead. It is now 2-0. Montreal batting, nothing for the Expos. In the third, another run. Look at that, 1-1-1. I see a pattern. Montreal, though, does get 2 in the bottom of the third, so let's take a quick peek at what Montreal did there in the game log. Our first 2 runs of 1905. What happened? Joe Ward singled, Joe Sewell singled. However, Joe Ward, thinking he was the Flash, tried for home and was thrown out. However, Cal Daniels with his first home run of the season, and it was a 2-run shot to get Montreal on the board. Okay, 3-2 Pittsburgh as we go to the top of the 4th. 2 runs for the Pirates. The Expos, bottom of 4, get nothing. We go to top of 5. Finally, a goose egg for the Pirates. The Expos, nothing in the 5th. We go to the top of the 6th. Another run for Pittsburgh. It's not looking too good for your Montreal Expos. They get a hit, but no runs. We head to the 7th. And after 6.5 innings, it is Montreal 2, Pittsburgh 6. All right, we need something happening here. Do we pinch hit for Ted Kennedy? I think so. Even though he could pitch the whole game, let's bring in Phil Plantier, one of our draft picks from, when did we draft him? Back in 1903. He was our first round pick. All right, let's bring in Phil Plantier. He is going to pinch hit for Ted Kennedy. Nothing like the present to get things done. Here comes the pitch, and Plantier drives that one into right. Is that going to fall? Nope. Right into the glove of the right fielder. That'll bring up number 9 hitter, Mark Stewart, and he drives one down the right-hand line. That's going to go to the wall. Stewart's going to stand in with a double, and he's going for 3, and he's there. Okay. A triple for Mark Stewart. That'll bring up leadoff hitter Joe Ward. 1 for 3 on the day so far. He drives at the first base. Not deep enough to score a run, however. That's going to bring up Joe Sewell. Sewell, Daniels, and Bo Jackson ready to contribute to this game. Sewell drives one to the shortstop, and that'll do it for the Expos in the bottom of the 7th. All right, do we bring him in? No, let's give George Merritt his debut. George Merritt, drafted George in 1903 in the 4th round. So we saw Phil Plantier get an at-bat. Now George Merritt takes the mound. Come on, George. 3 up, 3 down. Well, there's the first out. Ground ball to third. John Riley up for the Pirates. That one is driven on a shot to the right fielder. What a play by right fielder Bo Jackson. Tito Fuentes up for the Pirates, and he drives one to left field. And George Merritt with his major league debut, 3 up, 3 down, as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Okay, this is the heart of our lineup. Come on, Expos. Start the season off well. Cal Daniels at the plate, and he goes down swinging. Okay, Cal, you hit a 2-run shot earlier. I forgive you. Bo, does Bo know baseball today? Drives one into right field deep, just short of the warning track, and 2 away. Bob Hale. Time to get things going, Bobby. Nope. Right to the center fielder. Okay, we go to the top of 9. We're going to give George Merritt a couple innings here. See if he can get the top of the order. It is Dale Murphy at the plate. Looking for his 5th consecutive out, which he gets. Okay, 1 more, and we'll call it a success, George. And that is it for the Pirates. Well, George, you came in and did your job. 6 up, 6 down. Now it's up to the bottom half of the order. Pat Mullen at the plate for the Expos. He drives one to first base. Easy play for the Pittsburgh infielder, Art Shires. 0 for 3 on the day. And make that 0 for 4. All right, well, we can't give up. We got to give it a shot. So let's bring in a pinch hitter. Let's bring in Frank Whitman. And of course, we need 4 runs to tie this up. A long way to go. Frank will end it. And the Montreal Expos lose their first game of the season, 6-2. Pittsburgh Pirates, one of our rivals, take game 1. All right, let's sim ahead to the end of April. See if the Expos can do something. Here we are, end of April, and you can see a lot of progress report here. Roy Halladay, thankfully, it looks like Roy Halladay is improving now that he's in the majors. His stuff has gone up. Control has gone up. A few things have dropped, but at least he's making some improvements. Gone from a 1.5 to a 2-star. So maybe being on the major league team will improve him. Art Shires, Dwight Smith playing in AAA, who we drafted last year. Dom D'Alessandro starting to age a little bit. probably bring him up next season. Yeah, 3.5 potential, and we drafted him in 1902 with our second round pick. So again, if you've watched this series from the beginning, thank you. These names should be familiar to you as I've mentioned them over the course of the last few episodes. Montreal, where are we? Come on, Expos. 7-9. Other than the Chicago Cubs, though, it is pretty close. Chicago at the top, New York at the bottom. Everyone else still in the race. Okay, let's go to the beginning of June. Another month in the books in 1905. What do we got going on here? Glenn Bragg's Player of the Week award in the minors. Okay. When did we draft him? Was he part of the inaugural draft? No, he was drafted last year. By the Philadelphia Athletics. Okay, he is not our player. I thought maybe he was our player because it showed up in our news feed. Maybe not. And on our AA team, though, Edgar Clemente is one of our players. He was drafted in round 5 last draft, and he's hitting .361 for AA Durham Wolves. Looks like he's ready for a promotion. Speaking of, let's take a quick peek if anyone's eager for a promotion here. Okay, Delisandro, Akil Badu, and Dwight Smith, all left fielders, are looking to come up to the majors, but we don't really have room for them right now. Let's see let's bring up one of them. Who's having the better season? 340, 286, and 331. You know what? Let's send down Jamal Strong, and let's bring up someone that can play center field. Which one of you can play center? And Delisandro, no. So let's bring up Akil. He earned it. He played really well last season, but we gotta drop a guy off our 40 man. So we're gonna drop this guy here. Just a half-star player, someone that we drafted probably in the inaugural draft. Yeah. Otto Hess, sorry to see you go, but we got to make room for these other players. Okay. Ooh, I guess that didn't drop him. Let's try this again. There we go. We'll simply release him. And let's see if we can put you in the lineup somewhere. Where are you strong? You are strong on... Oh, you're pretty even. You can play both sides of the plate. So we'll just put you as a backup right now in center field and for left field. Happy Canada Day. It is July 1st, and we've got a couple progress reports here, development reports. Looks like Ken Penner has dropped with potential but increased his velocity. I will take that exchange. 19-year-old Ken Penner drafted in the 1904 draft, round number 3. So yeah, it looks like he's ready to go very soon in the majors. And Phil Plantier looks like he got a little bit of a boost for power, dropped a little in I, and is now projected to be a 5-star player. Look at that. Phil Plantier, second round pick, looking to be a long-time contributor to Montreal, although that avoid K is a little bit scary and can't really play anything other than the outfield. So he's playing first base right now, simply because we have a stacked outfield. So, Phil, hope you don't mind playing that. Maybe at some point we'll get a DH brought in because it's all randomly done by the game. So they may surprise us with a DH at some point. We have moved up. We are almost a 500 team. Good news. Good news. Our two pitchers, the Senator is about 500 and Fritz is just below 500. Our stars, Danny Darwin. Yeah, he's doing okay. And Roy Halladay. Let's take a look how Roy's doing. Roy is 0-3 right now, does have a save. Respectable, 2.75 ERA, and just trying to make a name in the big leagues. Okay, time to go to August. As those hot summer nights continue, we are on August 1st. I feel like 1st of Firth. We are on August 1st. We are on August 1st here, and again, some development changes here. You can see we're not going to go through all of them. Edgar Clemente, though, looks like he is going to be a player for us. Again, he is a star in Double-A. Time to move him up, I think. He's player of the week, played in the All-Star game, and also player of the month. So let's go do that now. Right now, he is in Double-A. Let's move him over to Triple-A and just make sure he doesn't want to go down. Nope, he's happy being there. Again, we've got some of our players eager to come up, but I'm not overly enthusiastic about doing that yet because I'd rather them get a lot of playing time. Dwight Smith hitting .332 and Delisandro .317. Okay, you guys are developing nicely. Catcher Chris Turner that we drafted in 1903. So he will eventually come up and replace Mark Stewart. Let's move him up to Double-A, make sure he's okay there. Chris Stewart, yeah. There you go. So Chris and Kel are the two that we've drafted recently. 1903 for Cal, and yeah, it looks like he's having some success. He's got a lot of news stories there. Hitting .281, defensively, not great. But again, this is the minors. Maybe we'll see some improvement there. Plus, it's Deadball Era where the catching performance, the catcher ability is not as important as the more modern era. Let's check on the prospects. Montreal, finally, we've got someone. Dom Delisandro has moved up to the number 6 prospect in the league. So, Dom, you're going to get your shot next year. We're going to keep you in Triple-A. Next year, you're going to be in the big league, son. Okay, let's go to the month of, well, we should check the standings. I don't think I showed that to you. We're kind of, on pace. We're just plugging away. Moving up the standings a bit, but still below 500. I think last year set us up for disappointment this year. We did so well that I was expecting big things out of the Expos, but we're kind of where we should be. Last year, we definitely overperformed, and this year we're kind of at the pace that I thought we would be, close to a 500 team. September 1st now, and the Expos are still just below 500. In fact, we've fallen off the pace a little bit. We are well below 500. So not too exciting. This is one of those years that just put in the time, put in the hours, get a few wins here and there, develop, and look at this. Look at our player development. Joe Sewell, 5 stars. Cal Daniels, 5. Bo Jackson. Joe Ward, 3.5. Phil Plantier, 4.5. Kind of dropped a little bit, projected to be a 5-star player. So all the players that we've drafted, they're doing pretty good. It's a matter of replacing some of these other guys. And next year, some of these other guys will be dropped off the roster because we will be making some room for the guys that deserve to be up there. All right, let's go ahead to the beginning of October. It is the beginning of October, and look at that. Montreal has made some gains in their conference, 70 and 76, 479 winning percentage. Again, I wanted to kind of hover around that 500 mark for a couple more seasons, and then we should be able to make a run at it. So let's talk about some of the good stories on the team before we end the season. So if we look at the overall batting leaders, Cal Daniels tied for the home run league with 8. Bo Jackson, number 2 in RBIs. And Joe Ward scored the most runs, 95 runs scored. Also tied in the league lead in triples. So Joe Ward, let's take a look at this player. Joe Ward was a first-year draft, so not the inaugural draft. So first year, 1901. And where is he here? There he is. 265. Let's look at his overall standings here. So yeah, he's had a couple really solid seasons in Montreal as our third baseman. How's his defense? Again, not the best. But that gap power, look at that gap power. That's why he has that gap power combined with that speed. That's why he's league leader in triples. Let's take a look at the pitching leaders. Of course, we've got a 2-man rotation, so we're obviously going to see both pitchers up there in many categories, most wins and most losses. Also, pitcher war, Danny Darwin, 3rd in the league in saves. And yeah, we're just blowing away in terms of innings pitched because they can pitch on one day's rest. Ted Kennedy, Fritz Peterson. And let's check out if there's any big streaks going on here. Every once in a while, let's look if our players have any streaks from the season. Joe Sewell had a 7-game scoring streak. Bob Hale, 17-game hitting streak. Cal Daniels, on-base consecutive 36 on-base game streak and still active. So keep it up. One more, Cal, to tie the top for on-base streak. Badu, who we brought up, 5-game pinch hitting streak. Well done. Okay. Lewis Thorpe has a 7-game shutdown streak and it's still active. Well, we are in we're in October now. Yeah, we're in October. Looking at the schedule, not many games left, so let's finish off the week. And we do get a streak. And Cal Daniels ended at 36 games. One short of the league lead, but we did win that game 1-0. Okay, well, let's finish off let's go to the playoffs. Can we get to 500? No. In fact, Montreal. 5 of the last 6 games were losses, 4 of them to St. Louis. So we will have the Athletics returning to the World Series, going up against Brooklyn. Philadelphia, Brooklyn. Who do you got? Let's take a look at maybe their best player, Rusty Staub, Max Scherzer. Yeah, they're playing it smart. They got 7 pitchers. Rube Melton, Cookie, Andrew Jones, Colby Rasmus. Some familiar names on Brooklyn. They had a 92-62 record, and Philadelphia finished the regular season with 88. So that division was not as close. Let's take a look. 2 games, Philadelphia over Chicago, and Brooklyn, 9 games. So definitely the powerhouse in the National League. All right, let's finish off the playoffs. Let's go to the playoff screen and see if it keeps it on there and see who wins the World Series. In a very close series, the Philadelphia Athletics take the World Series, the underdog in the World Series. They beat Brooklyn 4-3. My manager score popped up 421. And you know what? If you saw the very first episode and my manager score in the very first episode, I'm ecstatic because it's a lot higher this season. Let's go take a look at the award winners for 1905. So Philadelphia, back-to-back championships. First team in this series to win back-to-back World Series. In the American League, your winners were Dan Brothers, player that went number 1 overall back in the 1902 draft. I was really, really hoping to get him, but I think we lost the draft lottery and we fell to number 2, I believe, number 3 maybe. So we didn't get Brothers, but yeah, he is going to be a star, especially in the Deadball Era. Look at this guy. Like they should create a whole new upper league just for him. Man, that would have been a great player to have. Rich Nye, the baseball guy, is your Cy Young winner. He was drafted in the first round, number 12 overall in last year's draft. So quite the debut for Rich Nye, winning the Cy Young, but not the Rookie of the Year. The Rookie of the Year is going to go to Larry Bowa. Larry went number 3 in the third round, and again, it's kind of confusing. A guy wins the Cy Young, but Larry hit 337, so he had a fantastic Rookie of the Year. Well, let's check out the NL winners. Look at this. Pete Browning. Let's just rename this as the Pete Browning Award. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that right now, live on screen. Let's go find those awards because that's just amazing. There we go. We got the Pete Browning Award. 5 in a row. Again, you can't beat that. I mean, he deserves it. All right, let's go back to the awards. Find out who else won. Santo Alcala. Player I haven't come across yet. 3rd round pick in our first kind of serious draft by Brooklyn. He is your Cy Young winner, and Rookie of the Year in the AL goes to Juan Beniquez. Where was he drafted? Number 11 overall last year by the New York Giants. 345 average. So no Montreal Expos on the award-winning list this year, but well-deserving recipients. All right, let's go to the draft. It is draft day, and the draft lottery goes to Detroit. They hold on to the number 1. The Giants move up. Cincinnati will draft number 3, and the Browns are the big losers. They drop from 2 to number 4. The Montreal Expos will select 6 this year. Okay, so from 14 last year, where we took, I believe, Phil Plantier. So we're going to get a really good player at number 6. And let's take a look at the mock draft. These are the new players brought in. We're playing again historical replay, which imports historical players right from the early 1900s all the way up to present day. So you never know which players you're going to see. This year we've got Jimmy Wood, projected to go number 2. It's pretty good. We got Ben Paschal, who's got a lot of development to do. So if you take Ben Paschal, you've got to hope he progresses as he should and not become like Roy Halladay. I don't think I would gamble on him at number 1. We got Fred Bebe, and look who we have. Oh no, we're going to miss out on 18-year-old Hank Aaron. Hank, can you drop to us, please, at number 6? Mind you, getting Paul Molitor wouldn't be a bad option. Joe Nathan's there, Andy Pettit, Bo Bichette, Paul Blair, Joe Garagiola, and other familiar names that we see here as we move down the mock draft. F.P. Santangelo, Eddie Stanky, Bill Merritt. Oh yeah, we got a deep draft with some really familiar names. Not much in the 4th round. Remember, we are on the OOTP development engine, so once they're brought into the game, anything could happen to their development. All right, so Abreu, Aaron, Beebe, Molitor, Rich Harden, those are kind of all players that will likely drop to us. Andy Pettit maybe too. Okay, let's go to the draft. With the first pick, Detroit takes that Ben Paschal. Good luck, Detroit. Hope he develops for you. New York will select Jimmy Wood. Cincinnati takes Abreu. So top 3 were projected in the mock draft. Hank Aaron was projected to go here. Let's see if he does go to the St. Louis Browns. Yes, he does. Darn. Okay, Pittsburgh, who you taking? Rich Harden. Expos are on the clock. Okay, let's go and, as I always like to do, create a short list. So we are in 1905. All right, really important decision here because we really could use an ace for the future. Ted Kennedy's kind of our only, big name starter right now. Yeah. So ace starter, because starters go quick in the draft. So if we don't get one round 1, we're not going to get one in round 2. Hitter wise, I guess a really good catcher. Maybe a third baseman. Don't need a shortstop. Don't need corner outfielders. We're set there for a few years. So second base, third base, center fielder, and catcher. Kind of what we're looking for. Okay, Montreal. Who do we got? Let's look at the pitchers first of all. Rank by overall. We should probably put potential on there too. Potential. Where is that potential? Right there. Okay, so if we're going to take a pitcher, it's going to be a starter. And we're going to add those 4 to the short list. Now, if we're going to take a batter, let's add the potential. And we better save that view. And really, we're going to only look at those 3 right now. But we'll add a few others to our short list for round 2. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's look at the pictures first and narrow that down. We got 4 that we're looking at right now. Again, let's add potential. And let's save that so every year. Okay. 4, looks like 4 really good ones. Stuff movement. Don't like your control, Fred. Okay. I like this picture. Really like this picture. 21 years old. Much better control. Jim Shaw. No, not a fan of that control. And Andy Pettit. Joe Nathan, I believe you're going to be a reliever, but again, you may be kept as a starter with the development engine. So it's either going to be Pettit or Pelty. Who do I like better? Let's compare the two. Same stuff potential, movement edge to Pelty, control edge to Pettit. And in Deadball Era, I prefer control over stuff. So if I was going to take a pitcher, I am going to take Andy Pettit. If I choose a batter, let's save that view. All right, batter-wise, Paul Molitor. Gotta like it. I like that profile. Bichette. Another good one, Ned Williamson, who in his real life played in the late 1800s. Can play 3 positions. He's got a really good profile for dead ball. Ozzy? Nope. Carson? Another really, oh yeah, this is an outstanding dead ball profile. I like that E shape for dead ball. If he develops, he's going to be a machine in extra base hits and steals. Carson Bigby. Oh boy, Skeeter, as they like to call him. And I don't like Charlie Keller. Okay, so it's Bigby or Molitor for the hitters. Now, if this was modern era, I might go with Paul Molitor, but dead ball, I think Carson. So it's either Carson Bigby or Andy Pettit. Oh boy. 21-year-old Carson Bigby, 19. As much as I would love Andy Pettit on the team, and those of you watching are probably going to say, Pettit. I'm going to go with what I think will be a dead ball great player. Eyes a little low. Oh boy. Making it tough on me, OOTP. Molitor has really good speed too. So gap power maximum 55, where Paul was 60. No, let's do it. Let's go, Paul. Paul Molitor. Changed my mind at the last moment. Who does the scout recommend? Oh, they recommend the pitcher. Nope. Paul Molitor, you are a member of the Montreal Expos. All right, let's go on and check out the first round. So after Molitor, Pelty went to Philadelphia. Shaw, yeah, all the starters. Look at that. 2, 3, 5 starters in a row. So Carson, who we were looking at, would go number 13 to New York. And here we are. Let's take a look at our short list, see if anyone's still left. And once again, I keep forgetting to add the team so we can see who was drafted. And let's go and save this. All right, all of our shortlisted players are gone. Well, that makes things more difficult. Now we got to go back and re-shortlist some players. So let's go add all the 3 stars. Except for the relievers, because I don't need a reliever. So there's 4 of them. 4. Okay, let's add those to the short list. Level OOTP, I mean, so versatile, so many things you can do here. You know, take some time. Obviously, when you have these short lists, you have to add players, remove players. All right, 4 players that we have to choose from. Paul Blair, who had a really long career in the 60s and 70s. Again, these stats, you know, mean a little bit, but not a ton because it's the OOTP development engine. Not concerned about home runs. Joe Garagiola. Okay, I'm leaning towards getting another catcher. Eddie Stanky. Oh, look at that eye. Oh, what kind of career did he have? He had a lot of walks. Close to 1,000 walks in his career. He almost had as many walks as hits. So that eye definitely makes sense. I'd love, you know, he'd be a good top of the order player to get on base. But just a little too weak in everything else. Plus, we just got Paul Molitor, who will probably be our long-term second baseman or third baseman. So yeah, I think we're going to go with the catcher here. Joe Garagiola, real life, 318 in 1950. Okay, yeah, let's. I'm okay with that. Joe, welcome to Canada. And shouldn't take you long to be part of the organization. So let's skip ahead to round 3. And anyone left on the short list? FP Santangelo, thank you for not making me have to do any work in this round. We are going to take you. Thanks for hanging around, not being drafted. As we go to round 5. Okay, let me go and clear the short list first of all. Get rid of all those players that were on there. And now to add some new ones. All right, so again, let's add these 2-star prospects. In fact, no, I don't think we need a short list now. We can just look on the positions here. Pitchers, starters, do we have any left? We do have a couple. And by a couple, I mean 4. Claude, 25 years old though, nope. Don't need any pitchers right now. So let's go to batters. And sort by contact first. Gap power. of like the green I'm seeing here. Rick Shue. Yeah, Rick Shue, I think, is the play. So let's go. Oops, we were there already. Rick Shue is our number 4 pick. Now the draft pool really starts to shrink. And by shrink, I mean not very good. Look at that. Look at that poor contact. So I guess Josh Lowe. Didn't even look at him, but based on what I see here, I don't see a lot of great stuff. One guy left with a contact over 40. Gap, power, eye. John Houseman, you got an interesting build. That is interesting. Fran Mullins. It's a name that's familiar. Still playing baseball today. Patrick Wisdom with the Chicago Cubs. Anything could happen with the development engine. So let's go with John Houseman. Now let's see if we can grab some pitchers here. Should be a couple relievers still. John Switzer. Yep. Good control, good movement. You don't need a lot of stuff in this period, but let's just double check. Ooh. Maybe we can get both. Lance Carter, you're related to Wonder Woman Linda Carter? Yeah, it goes to show how old I am. Okay, John Switzer. Or Bill Cox. Please be there next round. Okay, Bill it is. And yeah, he might be, he could be a really good reliever, 21 years old. Good. Round number 9. Okay, only one pitcher left that we're not going to take him. So Franz Mullins. Yeah, we're going to take a chance on you. And with our last pick, I always like to have some sort of meme pick, some cool name or name I recognize. Moose. We could take a Moose. Doug Harvey, great Montreal Canadiens NHL player of the past. Could take him. Really could take a Sheriff. So Moose, Sheriff. Oh, really? What? This isn't. Okay, this must be Pete Rose Jr. then. What? Yeah, this has got to be a different. I mean, number 69, Pete Rose, there's the meme right there. We're definitely going with this Pete Rose. Although there are some other really good names out there. Okay, Pete, whichever Pete you may be, you are on Montreal. All right, looks like the draft is over. Let's take a look at our development system. Well, we've got a few players here. We've got Paul Molitor, Garagiola, Santangelo. Who's this guy? Roy Flaskamper. What? When did we take you? Back in 1903. I don't remember. Do you guys remember the episode where we took Roy Flaskamper? Well, he wants to be promoted. So there we go. We got some good prospects in this draft, and we better hit 500, guys. We better. Come on. We better have a 500 winning percentage or more. There you go. That has been the 1905 season. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you can, leave a comment, a like. If you have a chance, leave a like or a comment. Let me know that you're still watching these videos. I'm enjoying making them, and hopefully the Montreal Expos will be world champions within a few years. Have a wonderful day. It's a great day for baseball. Give what you can, take what you need. We'll see you next episode.